And there we are. The draft has started. Geek Fam versus Aster. We'll see who comes out on top. And Aster will be getting themselves a techies. Geek Fam, they go for the Nature's Prophet. The same opening as in the previous game, but I think it was Nature's Prophet first. Actually, it wasn't. Techies wasn't picked in the first phase. Looking at the bans here, Geek Fam getting rid of the Arc Warden. That's something that Aster might have wanted to pick up, but they don't want to be dealing with it. So Aster, I haven't seen them play recently, but I have seen Geek Fam play, right? And whenever Skem is on a team, you need to be afraid of that team. This guy knows his stuff, right? So I don't even think that it's that easy to predict what they're gonna pick, how they're gonna do it, how they're gonna play even, because he comes up with the weirdest things and they work, right? Then when you look at it a little bit closer, then you're like, yeah, that's actually pretty smart. And he doesn't stray too far away from the meta. So I think in a best of one, Geek Fam are definitely coming in as the favorites here. Maybe if it was a best of three, you still wouldn't be able to figure them out all that much. But as things progress here in the qualifier, I think Geek Fam are definitely gonna have some contenders to beat them. But I wouldn't be surprised if this team does go through onto the LAN. For those of you guys that don't know, there's going to be a LAN in Dubai starting from the 4th of January. We're going to have the group phase, and the tournament is going to end on the 16th of January. It is BetBoom Dacha, the second iteration of this tournament. And it's kind of, there's a whole house. There's going to be casters. There's going to be players. There's going to be production. All of them in that house in Dubai playing the tournament. I think it's the best way to actually showcase our community. Of course, it's not the ideal way because there's no audience, but the thing is, this is how we operate as Dota players. We sit at home, we play Dota, and then sometimes we hang out with friends to watch and play Dota, and potentially maybe go for some ping pong, you know, some foosball. Those things can happen. But let's focus on the draft here. Okay, those are some quick picks coming out from both teams. Mars and the Shadow Demon for Aster, where Geek Fam, they have a Pugna and the Naga. So Shadow Demon is usually good versus all illusion based heroes, because these heroes do go for stats mostly, and then the disruption illusions are incredibly powerful. If you look at Team Aster right now, they have lockdown, they have damage, they have solid laning as well. So I don't mind it, though. Geek Fam, they have pretty solid lanes as well. Naga, you can't really pressure her all that much. Later on in the game, Mars doesn't deal well with illusion-based heroes because, well, he has the spear and the God's Rebuke, but it's not enough to kill those illusions. And Geek Fam will be going for an Ember. This hero, not everybody plays it, right? But it is something that the Geek Fam are confident on. I think I've cast a tournament recently where Mac has played a couple of Ember Spirits, so I'm not surprised it got picked up, but it's not something that we see too often. So Necro, Viper, those kind of heroes are in the meta, so I was thinking maybe they're gonna be coming out, but Team Aster, they're gonna be playing a Dragon Knight. This is the thing, guys. Chinese teams, Death Prophet, Dragon Knight. This is what they like. They like to have a hero that is good at taking down towers. If you don't get your hands on the Nature's Prophet, these two make sense. I'm still kind of surprised, right? Because if the supports don't deal with the Naga, it's gonna be a problem. So you definitely need a carry hero that's gonna be able to do it. It's a rough one. Faceless Void got nerfed, but Naga has naturally been a counter to the Chrono with the song for a very long time. I don't think it's that much any longer, but nerfs are there. Plus you're versus a Pugna, so the Decrepify inside of the Chrono is nice. I guess Shadow Demon, Demonic Purge does help. There will be a Night Stalker ban. I really like that one. If your supports get caught in this one, you are kind of screwed, right? So backline jumpers, vision giving heroes for the Ember to do so, it can be a problem. One big thing though, the demonic perch is a big problem for everybody on Geek Fam. So this Shadow Demon with good positioning, it could be a hero with which Aster win the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I'm pretty curious to see if they can make it work. So, Luna ban, Medusa ban. I guess Aster, they do need the type of hero, something like what Zarey played in the previous game. You get a hero super farmed, you have this solid counter initiation, saves, etc. on your side. And then you just send that hero forward, right? Medusa gets an early butterfly, doesn't care about the illusions, just goes forward, takes down everything, and you win the game, right? You have the disruption save, you have the arena to protect him. And you use the tankiness of the Mars and the Dragonite to create space. You don't really have to go for that many kills. I like the bans from Geek Fam. There will be a Slaughter ban. Juggernaut does get picked up. Okay, so Aster, they're not going for that timing-based lineup. But I guess you could say Dragonite can push with the healing ward behind him. But rather, they're going, we're gonna destroy you later on. And the Juggernaut can deal with the Naga Siren later on. So I'm curious to see the build of the Juggernaut. He has again received some buffs to the Blade Fury, so I'm hoping that we see something around there with the build. Maybe we see a Radiance, would be cool to see. So you have a Pugna or a Nature's Prophet. I'm gonna say Nature's Prophet because Kemi is usually the one that plays the Pugna. So what do you want to allow you to slow down this Juggernaut? Because you definitely need to do so. I wouldn't be surprised if Aster gets like Midas on a Dragonite, even Midas on a Juggernaut. Probably not gonna happen. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. They're gonna be going for the Natsumi TA and we'll be playing an offlane Naga Siren. I remember Cox playing this. He went for an Orchid, so he went for the standard build on the Naga, like Manta Orchid. And it worked out pretty well for him. So interesting approach. This is what I was saying. Geek Fam, they like to do different stuff, which is definitely fun. It's definitely fun. It is gonna make for a more interesting game. Naga Siren though, this hero is strong in terms of armor in lane. But in terms of HP, she's not the greatest. The good thing for her versus the Juggernaut is that Naga Siren is one of the fastest heroes in the game, so that can help you. You're gonna have, okay, so it is gonna be a position for Pugna. I like that more, even though Skem has been playing quite a lot of it. Him and Jing, I think, can change between the Nature's Prophet and the Pugna. So you have two very speedy heroes in the lane versus the Juggernaut. Plus, it's gonna be PQ on the Shadow Demon, so it's not the greatest support to set up for a good spin. So I'm liking the odds of that lane working out. Geek Fam's lineup now with the TA, it's actually reliant a lot on the timing. So you need the Roches, you need the laning phase to go well. You have the Nature's Prophet Scam on it to go for kills, and some of these heroes can die. The thing is that the Dragonite isn't really that easy of a target for you, so we'll see if he's able to make a move onto the mid lane. But in general, I think Aster actually got a pretty decent one if they can use, as I mentioned, the tankiness of their Dragonite and their Mars. They can create space for the Juggernaut, and in the later portions of the game, this Juggernaut can do a lot. The TA is a solid one versus the Jugger, though, so the TA pick was pretty decent here in the end. But let's get ourselves into the game. Geek Fam versus Aster, starting right now. And there we are. The game has started.
With a charming personality.
So let's see how these two teams are gonna be doing here. EQ on the Shadow Demon. Shang-Chi on the Mars. So this is Shang-Chi. No, for those of you people that might not know, might use Mars a little bit more often. Settings. So settings are an issue for Geek fam. Hopefully everything is fine. They've already said go. I said there's not a lot of level 1 fights, though. Looking at Aster with the spin, level 1 disruption as well, disruption into surrounding somebody, it is a possibility that you would want to go for something like that. They've placed pretty deep vision, so let's see if they're gonna be able to do anything. Very nice positioning from Jing, though. Okay, there it is. Smoke breaks. The Watcher will get taken down. So Jing knew exactly what. 360 movement speed during nighttime. It's not even fair. Cox has the same amount. So, overall, looking pretty basic. Nobody wants to engage. People will trade runes. Pagna being a little bit more aggressive with the positioning. The TA waiting for a double melt. Has the Blightstone as well. Okay, that's gonna be a lot of minus armor. Who's gonna be on the receiving end of that one? How's the armors? The Tekis has 5 armor, so it's not the worst. Mars has 2, but he did buy the Ring of Protection. But either way, you're going deep into the minus armor territory. Plus, the Nature's Prophet does a solid amount of right-click damage, especially if he uses the TP. See, Natsumi, he is ready to rumble. See? Oh yeah, they're coming in with the TP as well. There's gonna be so much damage. He knows. He knows on the Mars. Yeah, Natsumi, you can go and do your moves to somebody else. Aster are more than ready. And this is it. Chinese teams, they always think about this stuff. Discipline is what the region is known for. So I'm a big fan of it. Sometimes they make the games just not so fun, but if you're a Dota nerd and you just like those little movements, little things, you're gonna enjoy Chinese Dota so freaking much. Top lane, I'm very curious to see how well the Naga does, how fast Cox actually buys boots. The Juggernaut wants it immediately. Understandably, you're dealing with 2 speedsters literally on the top lane. So if you guys have watched the Flash, I'm not talking about the movie. I haven't watched that one. The series, you know that there's a ton of speedsters. Yeah, Cox and Jing, 100% in that category. And we're getting a slow start. Let's look at the mid lane. This is where the Dragonite should do pretty well because you're not really afraid of the harassment from the Ember Spirit. With the Flame Guard, you probably try to make some pressure onto Echoes, but I don't see Mac winning this matchup. We'll see what happens. They're both melee heroes, so I would be very much surprised if that happens. Actually, nice deny there. Echoes not having the Breathe Fire. Start off with the stun, probably to get a deny or something at the start. The stun won't go through the Flame Guard. It's a level 2 Flame Guard, so Mac will push in the wave. This is one advantage that the Ember Spirit does have, and Skem will be dying. So Frisk gets himself a kill, and we miss on the first blood while talking about very interesting mid lane. That's why we were looking at it. Ember Spirit and a Dragonite. That's the most interesting lane that you can think of. And also, there was some resource usage here from Aster, but overall they didn't really do that much damage to them from the side of Geek fam. So I'd say Aster are very happy with that one. Sometimes the death is okay. First blood almost never, but at least you go through regen. Here, it's only the mana that was a problem for Aster, so they're gonna continue to CS quite nicely under the tower as well. Top lane, the disruption has been used. Cox has been caught, doesn't have the boots, and Juggernaut doesn't have them either. He went for the Gloves of Haze. This is what people usually do, just to make farming for them a little bit easier. You know, that range creep that you would like to deny is definitely gonna help. And there's the healing ward, the little Juggernaut Buddha, giving the HP to them. Let's see what the Juggernaut does skill up right now. He does have 9 stick charges, so mana isn't really gonna be a problem. A lot of spamming coming out from both the Pagan and the Naga Siren. I guess that's pretty nice for the Juggernaut. Still saving a skill point, and there it is. He will be using it right now. Okay, usually when somebody's saving a skill point, the talent tree should shine but I haven't seen it today, so hopefully there weren't some bugs that got introduced so that we can't really see everything that's going on.
With a charming personality.
Thank you, Lord Gaben. I know that you were addressing that to me. You're pretty nice as well. As looking at the CS, Cox is the one that's kind of falling behind, but not really all that much. 3 CS behind the Juggernaut and actually having more denies. It's not that bad. There will be a disruption. They have a spin. Level 2 spin is nothing to laugh at. The Blood Grenade will get used. Cox has the Healing Lotus and the 1 charges, so he's not going to die, but it is some pressure applied to him. Of course, the Tangos will be fed to him immediately, and under the towers, Cox should be able to farm. Nice dodge there on the Shadow Poison. PQ didn't want to use it. PQ, this guy used to be Siamese Cat. Oh, just so that you guys know who that is. I didn't mention it. Bach is Fate Beyond in the previous series. Everybody was asking, where's Fate Beyond? And he was there all the time. So some Chinese players changing their nicknames, playing with us a little bit. But if we are true fans, we will know. We'll know, right? There's only 1 kill has happened so far. Aster are ahead. 1k gold lead pretty much because of that kill. They're doing well in the mid lane, however, though. And that was to be expected, right? The Dragon Tail is just way too annoying. You're gonna get a deny here and there every single wave. So it does get you ahead in the lane in the end. Mac is still doing a decent job. TP in from Scam. I don't think he can do much. Does only refill the bottle. That was the whole point of the movement. Does leave the TA all alone on the bottom lane, and the techies immediately starts running, and there's the Nature's Prophet running as well. You can see how they're not even wasting a second because they know that somebody's gonna be in trouble. Jugger, speaking of, does get taken down. There's the ensnare being used, and if you want to be aggressive with your spin, this is what's gonna happen. Also, rotations for the first power rune, not gonna helping him at all. Shadow Demon just leaves his Juggernaut to be. There is a scan being used, so they know exactly where the Shadow Demon is, meaning that Mac is just not gonna be risking anything. He got his bottle refilled, and he's gonna be happy with that. First power rune, it's on the top lane, and it is gonna be an Invis rune for the Shadow Demon. Nothing big. Spin on the top lane. Again, that's gonna be a Jugger in trouble once more. 28 seconds without it. He does have the power treads, 5-1 charges under the tower, and this time around the Shadow Demon is in the vicinity. The TP in from techies. They want Cox. No spin, however, so I don't know if you can actually get this kill. TP out, not gonna be available, especially with the techies in the vicinity. They just turn around and fight the Jugger. Here comes Skem as well. They're fighting YCR, and he is losing this one with the Nether Blast. It's gonna be more than enough to finish him off. 4 charges of the poison on the Naga Siren, but without the 5th one and without the mana for it, you cannot kill her. It is gonna be a solid amount of damage to him, and that does leave... What? That's a solo kill? That should never happen. Natsumi getting a solo kill there. I guess you get the trap, so the lane becomes harder for the Mars, but that should just really never be a thing that does go down. So 3 kills for the side of Geek fam around the map. I was about to say that Juggernaut is more important, but actually no, because the Mars is farming better, and it is an offlaner that was having a relatively decent time so far. So just like that, the gold lead goes the way of Geek fam. Echoes, of course, is going to be using the dragon form, starting to be super annoying here to the tower. TP to the mid lane, another bottle refill. Mac is getting babysat by the supports quite a lot in the Dragonite. He has a helmet plus a little hat. Dragonite does seem like the kind of guy that would dress like Santa Claus. I remember when I was a kid, I was not a good kid. If a Santa would come, my mother would call him, oh, there's a Santa outside the house, and me and my brother would come out and we would pull his beard, like, we know you're not the real Santa. Imagine that. Instead of just being happy that somebody's bringing you some treats. But yeah, Dragonite is the type of guy that would do it in his neighborhood. So Echoes is gonna have another dragon form. We can expect a lot of traffic around this mid lane. Look at what Cox is doing. Yep, Naga Siren, high armor, high movement speed. Nobody that can gank him currently. And Geek fam, they're using that to get a lot of farm on their offlaner. Is gonna be going for a Yasha. There's the dragon form, and this mid lane tower, it's gonna be going down if they do nothing about it. And it's seeming that they're not doing it. The scan was used. They do have vision, and that tower is gone. Mac was thinking about the deny. That's not going to be happening. The sticky bomb makes sure of it. As PQ is coming forward. Disruption at the ready. You don't have level 6 just yet, so without the demonic purge, you're not a problem for an Ember Spirit, who is kind of low on mana. But for now, everybody will disperse. Aster has gotten their tower, and Geek Fam, they didn't care about that tower whatsoever. I guess they just understood that it's gonna be going down fairly soon. Dragonite still hasn't put anything into his quick buy. I'm not sure. If the tech is having a great game and is having a lot of levels, I can understand maybe going for a blink first. Yeah, he will do it. I still think Midas might be the safer choice. If you look at it, the side of Geek Fam is relatively greedy as a lineup, right? You have relatively greedy supports, but there's so much farm on the map. I don't know. I feel like this could be a double-edged sword for Echoes, and I guess the Blink Dagger for the Dragonite always is. He does place a ward right now underneath enemy vision, so that's gonna be taken down immediately by Cox. He's not doing it though. He definitely saw it there. Besides, it's not worth it. Maybe think it's a bait. Shield rune for Max, so this is gonna be double shields, flame guard, and a shield rune. Good luck killing this guy without the demonic purge, which you still do not have. Kind of annoying to the Naga. So the Juggernaut will be going for a Maelstrom. That's gonna be his build. Helps you farm, helps you deal with illusions a little bit. It's solid to go through the refraction charges with the Maelstrom procs later on. Not too bad. Let's see if he does get the shard and how fast he does do it. As Jink being an annoying Pugna, draining the Juggernaut, and we'll start to pressure this tower a little bit more right now. While Cox is being super aggressive, they still haven't taken down this ward. Like, what the hell, Cox? Take it down. Maybe Mac will be doing it. What the hell? Okay, the stun from the Dragonite has just flown across the entirety of the map. It was a ranged form stun, I guess. As a melee one is instant. Meanwhile, Dragonite, third dragon form, wants to take down the bottom tower. Will be successful at doing so. The trade, this time around, it will be there. So Geek Fam are getting a tower of their own. But Aster are opening up the map quite a lot, meaning that this Blink Dagger actually can do a lot. Mars going for a Veil. No surprise there. This has been the go-to build. Does get the Vlads. Vlads can be disassembled right now, so they just changed it. So this is, I mean, just at the B patch, so a couple of days ago. But it is a much better item now that it can be disassembled. It actually makes a lot of sense. So they are going for this tankiness approach with the Vlads. Let's see if they can kill the Ember Spirit. There's the blink. Fall up, stun. They need the Arena Spear, and it's not going to be connecting. Blast off. Level 1 stun duration, very low. Also level 1 Dragon Tail, so Mac is just going to be getting himself away. That is a Blink Dagger reveal, and that is a disaster, if I might say so. While Natsumi is farming, he now knows exactly where his enemies are. The ward will get found. Kem does take it down. Well, this one is still... What the hell is happening, right? They saw it right now. See, I just wanted to make sure that they see it, but they just don't care about it. Yeah, look at us while we're farming your jungle, and you can't do anything about it. Mars is now going to be going towards that Veil. There's a lot of damage that can be done with the Veil. Obviously not the only reason that it's being picked up nowadays. But a smoke will be used. Demonic Purge ready on the Shadow Demon. There's proximity mines on the techies as well. They're looking for somebody. Natsumi, he got a kobold. Who dug it for him? I guess it's the Pugna or the Nature's Prophet, one of those. As Natsumi is getting even more gold. That's so done. Even if he dies right now, he's not going to be losing any gold. So not that big of a deal. The scan was used and, well, nothing was found. So Aster, second smoke, is not going to be doing anything for them. At least kill the Pugna, kill somebody. This Dragonite is going to be struggling so much. The Ember is starting to catch up on him because of this. It's going to be a very deep ward placed. But Aster, they're just tiptoeing around the map, not finding anybody. Juggernaut, no surprises in items. I was hoping for something interesting. No interesting things. Cox, there's gonna be a Manta, 1,000 gold away from it. Mac, going for a Mage Slayer. This is the build I've been seeing on an Ember. It does make sense. You have light on everybody. It doesn't allow you to farm faster, but you become this tanky guy. Just run in. Scam steals the Wisdom Rune, so it's gonna be both Wisdom Runes, and it's just TPs away. Okay, it's turning out to be a disaster for Aster. They are being outplayed on every part of the map, and it's not through kills. You're just being outfarmed, you're being outmaneuvered, and I think Echoes right now is gonna be thinking, why did I not go for a Midas? I think he's not too happy about it. So 3k gold lead, it is just increasing, and this is the thing. Oh, Natsumi is level 14. Oh boy. Oh boy. The highest level is 11 on the other side. This is starting to get out of control. There is a Veil on the Mars. We'll see if he gets a Shiva's earlier. Or if he'll be getting something else. The Eternal Shroud, thinking about it, the Eternal Shroud was changed a little bit. There were a couple of nerfs in the B patch. Frisk, Sleight of Fist chains. The reactive taser will be expiring right now. There it is. It does disarm the Ember Spirit, and with the blast off, Frisk gets himself away. That's the first action that we have had in quite some time. So let's get super excited about it. Cox doesn't have the song. You should have learned how to sing. Where's the Demonic Purge? Where's the disruption? TPs are coming in. Scam came over. There will be a Sprout used, and there the heals. Cox doesn't care. Turns around with the net. And Mars is going to be in so much trouble with the Deso coming in. Goodbye armor, goodbye life. No amount of shields are going to help you. Mac comes in with a Sleight of Fist to get the kill as he's chasing for more. The rest of Aster will get themselves out. And this is a fight won right next to the Roche pit. So from farm to a kill to a Roche, everything working out for Geek fam. We don't get a lot of kills, but Geek fam, they're definitely in full control of this game. Now Nature's Prophet also has a Spirit Vessel, so that's gonna be a nice way to kill the Dragon Knight as well. While YCR, the Sprout, will annoy him. He does have the Quelling Blade, however, to get out of it. Didn't go for a Battle Fury build, so at some point, this is gonna be a problem for him if nobody gets a Force Staff. And for now, nobody's even thinking about it. The Techies wants a pipe. The tower is taking a lot of damage. There's the Roche dropping. And Natsumi, he has everything he needs. Only a shard is needed now, TPing to the bottom lane. You need to run from this TA. A couple of hits. Okay, that's gonna be 3. The reactive taser techies. He has used it, but a little bit too late. So TA will get disarmed, but only after she has fulfilled her job of assassinating the techies. TP to the mid lane. Nice blink out from Echoes. The net did not connect. If Cox had been able to do it, that would be a disaster. So, as I mentioned, Cox, when he plays this offlane Naga, he plays it the same way as you would a carry Naga. TP in from Scam, ulti will get used, and that is a very dead Shadow Demon. It's just a matter of time before he dies. He's probably not even going to be able to move. Stuck in the trees, dead. It will be turning around to Scam. The arena is going to be used, but a nice song to save Scam for the time being, especially with a life drain, giving him his life back. And now you're in so much trouble. Actually, Omni Slash no, doesn't care. The crap is there. Does have the spin. Thinking about using it. Look at the TA coming in to destroy the Juggernaut. A couple of hits and he's dead. And the Dragon Knight has been caught on the other side. The Spirit Vessel not allowing him to move. This slows the Sprouts. The death has been brought up to the Dragon Knight. Echoes, nothing he could do about that one. And you're just getting overwhelmed, outplayed, and destroyed by the side of Geek fam. They still haven't taken down the mid lane tower, and they're diving so deep into enemy territory from all sides. So what happens when this tower does fall? It's gonna be even more of a disaster. There's the courier with the shard of the TA. Nobody on the other side, other than the Juggernaut shortly, I guess, does have a way to deal with the silence. This is gonna be very, very rough. Geek fam are a scary team. A scary team. Very versatile in their drafts. Understand how they play. Leadership is great. Something that Southeast Asia sometimes lack is leadership. Not here, because you have Scam. This guy, every single team with him is good. I think you give him like 7k players, and And he can beat some like tier 2.5 teams for sure. Silence on the Juggernaut. That'll be fine for now. Nah, no, not for long, however. It's just so much physical damage. Yeah, you're only making it worse. Just bend over and accept what's coming your way. I think that's what Geek fan want to say to Aster here, because that's exactly the only thing that you can do here. At least willingly accept that you're gonna get destroyed. Ember Spirit, rotating to the bottom lane. This is the build that Embers go for, especially Mac. I've seen him go for it a couple of times. You just make the Ember Spirit ultra tanky, and it's not that much about damage. It's more about surviving Scam, Spear, Arena. We've already seen this, and he hasn't died a single time. This time around, however, Scam might be dead. There will be a silence, however, Scam is alive, and Frisk doesn't have anything to do here. At least he'll get himself away with the TP. But the tankiness of the Nature's Prophet coming in handy there. 1400 HP, a lot for Scam and a lot for Aster to go through. They're just so far behind. Tekis and Amars, these two should be a dynamic duo. Being able to kill anybody. Echoes, yeah, he's out. Immediately TPs himself away. He did blink onto a ward, so that was a dangerous situation for him for sure, but not that big of a deal. That's a pretty cool item for the Pugna. Pretty cool item in general. People don't know, you can read it, but your daytime vision is reduced, but you have increased magic damage. And the thing is, Pugna usually has somebody with him, so his positioning should be great. Plus you have the TA traps, which you can see are everywhere on the map, so vision in general shouldn't be a problem. You have TA traps, you have the Naga Siren pushing in the waves. Yeah, there's not gonna be any vision problem. Cox does have the Orchid. I think he's baiting the Mars here. He's not gonna be taking it there. Tier 2 on the bottom lane will get taken down. Usually the first Aegis is mostly a farming one. Maybe you take down one tier 2 tower, and well, speaking of farming, Natsumi has quite a lot of it, and he's gonna be taking one tier 2 as well. Cox going for a song. The trap was used as well, making sure no spins, no ultis, no kills on the Naga Siren. Once again, you're getting outplayed. Aster, they only have one kill. That was the first blood. Like, half the first blood, Scam gave it to them just so they would feel good about themselves. But literally, other than that kill in the laning stage, they haven't been able to do anything. The Blink Dagger of Echoes has done absolutely nothing, nada, zero for his team. And at least he's picking up Lotuses. If you can't get kills, if you can't get be a good warrior, at least be a good gentleman. That's how you're gonna get the ladies. So I think Mirana fell for the DK because of his strength, not so much because of the his ability to pick up flowers. But what can you do? Gold lead just continues to increase. This is a huge stomp. And I don't like that it's a stomp. We're gonna have a long break if it continues this way. But Aster, they're still not giving up. Their Juggernaut will be finishing up his Manta, meaning that the Orchid is not gonna be that big of a deal for him any longer. Naga Siren going for the Eternal Shroud. But the stack duration was decreased, so it was a slight nerf. I guess you don't want it maxed out all that much. It's gonna be quite nice there. Extra magic resistance. I don't know how Aster are gonna get kills, right? You have an Ember with this defensive build, has a lot of armor, has magic resistance, HP is solid. I don't know how you kill him. Then you have this Naga with the Eternal Shroud. Again, same thing. The TA ultra farmed with the BKB. I don't see you killing her either unless she's completely alone. So good luck getting those kills. Plus, all of the lanes are getting pushed in, so the side of Geek Fam, they should know. Okay, Natsumi, he should have known, but he didn't. BKB, is he gonna use it? He is, and it's gonna be a wasted BKB. 9 seconds down the drain, plus his life. You are the vision of the enemy, but the pipe will be protecting the Dragonite. Is gonna get silenced up, has the BKB, pops it right now as Echoes is running forward. That's a big dragon. Nobody wants to fight it. It is gonna be 2 9-second BKBs down the drain, but at least Aster got themselves a kill, the biggest kill they can get on the map. And it was Natsumi's mistake, right? All of the lanes pushed in, and you don't see anyone on the map. So it really should never happen. Scam, now he buys the gem. I think it's a perfect situation to go for it. You are just so far ahead that losing the game seems almost impossible. And once you take away the vision that is already limited for Aster, they have any wards. Yeah, they have one ward here. That's about it. Plus, pretty much not usable. You don't have good ways to go to that part of the map. They did push out the top part of the map right now, so Any smokes on them? No, doesn't look that way. So yeah, not that easy to use. At least YCR will go there to farm a little bit and then get himself away with the spin TP. Does have the Orb of Destruction. Ember Spirit does have that Royal Jelly. Look at level 14 on Scam. He's the same level as the Dragonite and the Mars. And in terms of net worth, he's not that far away either. Ember Spirit, his Shiva is done. Even more vision. More slow. More problems for Aster when it comes to taking down heroes. Next Roche can be up in 10 seconds. We'll see. Well, let's get the predictions right. I always get this right. 37 seconds. I've never been wrong in my life. So, guys, don't worry. The Roche will spawn in 37 seconds. See? Very early Roche respawn. I guess that does benefit Geek Fam. The side of Aster, I would be very surprised if they can sneak it or something. Smoke from Geek Fam. The Nature's Prophet is not in it. He does have the shard there. Atos. Also, the Wrath of Nature is available. Look at this. Cox is setting things up. His smoke will break right now. Uses the illusions preemptively. YCR gonna get silenced as the Manta spin TP if he wants to. The net will connect. Meanwhile, they've already found the Shadow Demon spin TP. YCR is out. And without the TA damage, you have no hopes of bringing him down before he's out. Scout from Echoes has the TP and will go for it. You don't really have many things to cancel the TP. Sleight of Fist Chains and the net. That's about it. So in terms of lockdown, Geek Fam are definitely lacking, but doesn't seem like they're lacking in anything else. There's the sleep. They found Frisk on the other side as well, but the Mars is in so much trouble. He's gonna get silenced up. The Shiva definitely helps you versus the illusions, but surrounded by 5 heroes, there's nothing that can help you in the world of Dota when there's so many heroes on top of you. 2 quick kills once again for Geek Fam. The Roche is up, which they do not know. No traps in the pit. It's still nighttime, so that they can go for it if they want to. But for now, I guess a smart move, if you want to, is go super aggressive on the map. Aster can expect you to be on Roche. There's the trap. There's the second trap. Poor Shadow Demon. He cannot speak. Another silence is there. And actually, he gets himself away. Having the Gossamer Cape versus the TA is a big deal. TA lost the courier. Pretty big. Especially when you have so much gold. We'll see what he does get next for the items. I wouldn't mind the pike, just for extra positioning, but we'll see what he decides. Once you get the Aegis, it's not really that. Do they not want the cheese? Do they want the banner? Not sure. I guess the banner would help you quite a lot with pushing, and Aster, they can't really get out on the map to deal with it. Oh, look at the poor Mars. He does have a solid amount of armor. Okay, not a solid amount. He has a ton of armor. The life drain doesn't care about it. Dragonite went for a Maelstrom as well. Let's see, Scam. That's a very aggressive TP, so he'll get destroyed immediately. Has he baited them into a bad fight? Not really. You know, Demonic Purge, so that's a nice one for the Ember. Bottom lane is getting pushed in by the Naga illusions, but the creeps aren't there. He's doing some chip damage to it. Dragon Scale doesn't work on illusions any longer, and rightfully so. Spells. Natsumi goes for the melt. You did dodge him once. There's the one melt strike, but Mars, in terms of armor, he's fine. Might be thinking about walking into the pit, and they're gonna do exactly that. Mjolnir on the Juggernaut, Maelstrom on the Dragonite. He's going for the big black dragon form. This is gonna take a little bit longer. At least around the pit, you can have good positionings for your healing ward. And that's exactly what they're gonna do. Sending in the illusions right now. Sleep is at the ready. This is so risky, but with a spin, nicely timed, maybe you can get it for yourself. Echoes taking some damage there. It is gonna be Natsumi. Nice blink out, dodging the stun, and the silence connects onto the Shadow Demon. The arena will try to protect him, especially with the spear. Naga Siren is in a lot of trouble. He hasn't killed the healing ward. They're all being healed up. The song being used, surrounded, but not really big spells. They're just 5 heroes standing together. There will be a silence, however, which is gonna be pretty huge. Natsumi hasn't popped his BKB. He's gonna do it now, standing his ground with the Omni Slash, doing some damage. Natsumi, is he gonna be living through this one? Even with the life drain, it's not enough. The buyback from Mac. see, it's looking pretty good for Aster. Even though the game was not looking good, they're buying back. They know that this is their time to win this game. But the dieback from Mac and the buyback from the techies, they do have the outpost here to play with. Cox is in so much trouble and he'll be taken down as well. Goodbye, Naga Siren. The question is, how much can Natsumi actually do? He might even decide not to go there, and the game has just been turned on its head. Geek fam have been controlling it for so long, but the Juggernaut with an ultra kill and the Roche is not going to be allowing it any longer. The game, just like that, is no longer in the hands of Geek fam. You still have good ways to shove in the lanes. You still have good ways to control the map. But in terms of strength, in terms of team fight, Aster have shown that they are not gonna be intimidated whatsoever. Even with 5-man song, all of them clumped up, the trap springing, silencing most of them, doesn't matter. Juggernaut just does so much damage. Okay, lack of lockdown coming into play, and now you have to change your approach. Natsumi, he's no longer that powerful. He's trying to do some damage to the Dragonite, but okay, no buts. Echo's dropping low. He is not gonna be surviving. Natsumi finds him in the end. Very nice footwork coming out from him, not allowing the Dragonite to blink in the end there. And he didn't want to pop the BKB for the traps. He's gonna die. Nice play from Natsumi, much needed for Geek fam. If nothing, just to get the morale up. But right now, what you do, it's still not that bad. So what you do is you use the Naga illusions, you shove in the waves, you use the Wrath of Nature, you shove in the waves, and you try to find openings. The Sight of Ice is something that you might look for, and we're seeing that Naga Siren is already thinking about it. First, there's going to be a Bloodthorn, and then probably a Sight of Ice. I guess Bloodthorn is going to be quite nice to allow you to burst people down. Kill them faster. That's the thing. You might have the ability to shove in the waves to farm faster, but you don't have that many abilities to kill people. That's where the Hex comes in handy. So we'll see how fast the Cox can actually get to it. Nice Arcane Rune for the Naga Siren. It's pretty big for the hero. Guardian Greaves on the techies. Pretty huge. So he has all of these aura items. You just want more and more armor, right? Ember didn't go for the damage dealing build, and he's thinking about a Maelstrom later on, so we might see a Maelstrom Axe, things like that coming out from the Ember Spirit later on in the game. But the Dragonite does have his Aghanim Scepter. It's going to be delivered right now, while the Mars is ultra tanky. 3k HP, 37 armor, Eternal Shroud, so does have 60% magic resistance. Good luck killing this guy when he uses the Bulwark. It was so easy to kill him earlier, but not any longer. Definitely not any longer. Juggernaut has a full butterfly. That is huge. Versus the TA, versus the Naga. I guess the Bloodthorn does help. We'll see just how much. I guess you can use it on him when he's already used the spin, and then you won't be missing. But if he removes it with the Manta, not big of a deal, and I guess you're waiting for it. So Juggernaut, look at the attack speed, destroying that tower. It's gonna be the first tier 2 for Aster, the third tower in general. The gold lead again increasing in favor of Geek fam, and I think they're aware they don't want to be going for fights. Not right now with the Aegis for sure, but maybe even with the next Roche, you just want to approach this one with map control. It's the best possible way, 100%. Like a headband. Let's look at some of the neutral items. Nemesis Curse. I really am a fan of some of these new neutral items. It's insane, right? You might take more damage, but the Ember isn't really being targeted all that much, and you just make sure that you apply the debuff to the enemies. Make sure that the TA can take him down. Wait, so is it one target? No, it's 5 seconds, so you can increase damage taken to everybody by 12%. Huge. Here, I was thinking more Gossamer Capes versus the TA. Natsumi is approaching level 25, and considering the current state of the game, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the Melt Hit Bash. People, like 99% of the times, go for the refraction charges, but in this game, Might want to be hunting. Jugger, his Aegis is going to be expiring in 50, but they're finding the backlines. Mac misses on the side of Fist. Natsumi just jumps in, has the BKB, will be popping it right now. The deck is still alive, not for long. Does get taken down. Nice force staff to the low ground. Skem needs to be careful. Does have the Ogre Steel Totem and will be fine. The illusions are keeping them at bay. Mars with the shard. He's a scary guy. There's going to be a silence on the Dragonite. Slow down. That's a big black dragon. He's just baiting them in. Natsumi taking it slowly. Has the blink away. Will be able to do it. Just poking and prodding. 20 seconds for the Aegis. You have to be careful not to die. Can they bring him down? Natsumi. That would have been so bad. The song was used. They're chasing on the Mars and he will get slept. With the net being there, there is a trap as well. Not allowing him to use the spear. He is tanky. He is not tanky enough, however. Definitely a lot tankier than what he used to be. And when it's not a big fight on a area, it seems that Geek fam are just outmaneuvering Aster. Aster's players, they might be good at using spells, but in terms of map movements and decision making, Geek fam doing a better job. Plus their lineup does enable them to do so. Aegis did expire. Juggernaut going for the Aghanim Scepter, so the Swift Slash will be available fairly soon. But before that, they want the Tormentor. And we'll see who will be the lucky guy to receive it. It is going to be the Dragonite, so a little bit of outpush. I guess that's great to actually help you deal with the lanes, which are already a problem. Silence on the Shadow Demon. Nice Ghost Scepter there. PQ doesn't want to die. Nice itemization from both of the supports here on the side of Aster. PQ, Gossamer Cape. Plus he has the Ghost Scepter. He's thinking about, he wants the Psychic Headband, but he's going to be using the Psychic Headband when his team is out on the map, when he is behind his teammates. But when he's kind of alone, no way. Gossamer Cape takes the Primate. So there is a shard on the Shadow Demon, which is nice. The crap net, meld hit, all those things, purging them off of your teammates is huge. Also the traps, just not allowing anybody to get silenced, slowed. Those things, they do matter. But the Naga Siren is approaching the Hex. That's the one thing that you won't be able to purge off. It is a basic dispel. Not a hard one. So Juggernaut has the Aghanim Scepter, so even more damage from him. Has to be a little bit careful with the low HP. Has a Butterfly, but that's where the Bloodthorn comes in, and the Hex as well. I guess you're counting on the Disruption, you're counting on your Manta. There are ways to keep you alive, so if he gets the Omni Slash off, he'll be fine. He does have the Blade Dance Lifesteal. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still great. During the Omni Slash with this much HP, you're getting back up to full most likely. So, refraction charges on Natsumi, I guess. Right, even though you might not be that great at picking people off, the 7 refraction charges is just so damn good. It's like another 4 levels of your refraction. Not even funny. Smoke from Geek fam. They've used the smoke. They know exactly where their opponents are. Mars is the one sporting the cheese. Roche can spawn in 10 seconds. We'll see if it's going to be an early one, just like the previous Roche. And they're without their Dragonite. It would be bad if they get caught, or even if the Dragonite gets caught. We're seeing that Echoes is not leaving the base. It does have the Craggy Coat. That's going to be even more armor for him. He's going to have 48 once he uses it, if he's next to a tower. 43 if he's not. Quick mats there. Slowing down the creeps with the proximity mines. Juggernaut is still on the other side of the map until that Hex is done, and it's done right now. He's not afraid. Naga Siren going for the Disperser next. Wants to be able to have that purge. Movement speed is also nice. And in general, it is a great damage item. I was thinking maybe he buffs up his illusions a bit just to make sure that the pushes are even more annoying. Look at this. The towers aren't taking that much damage, but they're taking some damage, right? So at some point in the game, that thing is going to become scary, especially playing versus the Nature's Prophet. And Skem, well, his damage is not to be underestimated for sure, especially now with the Maelstrom. The Sprout Leashes is active. Okay, they have Quelling Blades, that's good. Smoke was used. We've already seen a fight in this area of the map. The Sleight of Fist Chains, it stops this advance. All of their smokes have been broken. Now have to run away. BKB from Natsumi going for Frisk. With the Guardian Grease, is going to be fine, especially with the disruption being used. Sleight of Fist. Have to be careful on the Ember Spirit. And he doesn't have money for a buyback. He's probably going to be able to get out of this one. Has the remnant back. Actually goes forward. While in the backlines, Cox has found the Shadow Demon. He does have the Ghost Scepter. The pipe is being protected, but in the end, he'll get destroyed. Immediate buyback. Echo's dropping low, but he will be able to survive. Doesn't even want to use the Craggy Coat. That's one hero dead. Dragon Knight does have the cheese given to him. Maybe he can bait something out with it. Aster pushing in the waves. Everything is getting pushed in. So the longer this fight goes, the more it benefits Geek Fam, and Aster, they're losing their dragon form. It's a solid downtime, 40 seconds that you're gonna be able to fight without a Sleight of Fist Chains on the Mars. Doesn't have the BKB. He's in a Sprout, and he ate the wrong tree. Gonna be using the Spear. Nobody cares about it. He does have a buyback. We'll be using it right now. Tekis is gonna get destroyed. This guy can't come back into the fray. The Healing Ward should be taken down with ease, and the next on the menu is gonna be the Shadow Demon. Doesn't have a buyback. Look at the backlines. Cox has found them. The Omni Flash is gonna be used. There's the cheese. Finally, Echoes uses it, but it doesn't matter. You're getting overwhelmed. Cox is taking no damage. You're slashing absolutely nothing. The fish will not become a sushi, as YCR is not dying easily, but make no mistake, dying he is, and the Mars is gonna be the only one left, but we're gonna slay our gods after we have slain you. An overwhelming victory for Geek Fam. This time around, they are not gonna be found with their pants down around this Roche pit. They will win the fight, and they will win it convincingly. That is 6 heroes dying on Aster. I think 7 actually, because the Shadow Demon bought even earlier in that fight. 7-0 with a 25k gold lead. Aster, it's looking grim for them, but they are still in this game. It is not over. Net worth says otherwise. Schem is ahead of net worth over the Juggernaut. There are buybacks on the Dragon Knight and the Juggernaut, but 3 versus 5. You're not gonna be winning it, or you can actually count it 3 versus 7, because there's a cheese as well. Schem pushing on his own. That's the last glyph that you're gonna have, probably in this upper bracket, but we'll see. The game still isn't over until the throne does fall. There it is. Top lane gone. Mid lane next on the menu. No glyph. It's gonna be short work of it. With this Deso and even Schem contributing so much to the damage there. Has the Gleipnir right now. Timeless Relic. His damage is insane. As the last tower will get taken down. Echoes, Sleight of Fist Chase on him. He has to go for a BKB. The net connects, but of course the BKB is protecting him for now. Swift Slash gonna be used. YCR coming forward. He has to be aggressive. But look at Natsumi. This is how you do aggression. Has the BKB being used. It's gonna be expiring right now. Still has the Aegis. Cheese is on the Ember Spirit. It's not on the TA, but there will be a song to slow things down. They're gonna be listening to Cox sing. As Aster are running forward. They want more. They're not going to be able to get it. They've lost 2 lanes of racks and the range racks on the bottom lane. Plus, there's still an Aegis cheese on the other side. Meaning, Geek Fam, they can find an opening. And for now, they can just wait out this dragon form. And the Dragon Knight without it. His Aghanim Scepter is useless. He's just not going to be a hero. And you're already having some issues. A lot of issues with the 40,000 gold deficit. This is not a deficit from which players come out often. The crap. Oh, actually protecting the Mars from the TA. Nullifier onto Echoes. Just jump in from Frisk. Reactive Taser has been used. He'll be fine. The Spirit does connect onto the Ember Spirit, but he still has the cheese, so should be able to survive the arena. Onto the 4 of them. This is our arena. You have built it so that we can enjoy ourselves in it. Gleipnir onto the 3 of them. At least the Healing Ward is keeping them pretty healthy. And the Dragon Knight is coming back. He's healing inside of the fountain, but the Raxes are dropping, and that's going to be mega creeps. Echoes with the Spirit Vessel on him. He's really not healing all that much. And the Omnislash does almost nothing. Mac goes to the side. He gets low, not low enough to die. The Swift Flash might finish him off. Mac is just dodging. It goes into the fire, but it expires. The Ember Spirit will not be dying to any fires. His YCR will get taken down as well. Does have a buyback, but his buyback is gonna be meaningless as GG has been called, and Geek Fam are gonna be going into the upper bracket, whilst Aster are gonna have to be fighting in the lower bracket tomorrow to stay in the qualifiers for their dream of going to Dubai to stay alive. Very nice performance from Geek fam. I'm a big fan of what they did. This is the type of lineup that they usually go for. I'm actually surprised that the TA doesn't get banned out for them, but it is not a hero that gets played too often. So in some ways I can get it, right? You don't want to be banning that hero. Sometimes Geek fam even pick it in the first phase. This time around they definitely baited their enemies into thinking they're gonna be playing the Naga in the safe lane. But Team Aster, maybe they should have done their homework a little bit more, because this is what Geek fam do, and this is literally the type of lineup that they can always pull out if they see that it is gonna work. So let's look at that lineup again, right? Looks pretty decent. Damage done,